Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's the middle of the week. It's been a good week so far for me. I hope it's the same for you. And yeah, this is In the Raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. As you can see, I'm back at work. I have been for the last week now. And you know what that means? I have my little calendar here that I've shared before. And those of you that don't know, I have a calendar on my desk that I've had for about 20 years. I don't know how long, but anyways, um, every new day it's got a saying or a quote, and so from time to time I like to share them. And today's it says, "Give someone else a hand along the road of life." Interesting. Interesting saying. Give someone else a hand along the road of life. We live in a time, I'm going to put it that way, where not too many people are willing to give a helping hand anymore. I remember when I was a kid, I'd be, with my dad on the road, or driving somewhere on the streets. And, if he'd see somebody in distress along the side of the road, he would stop and help them, like it was somebody who didn't have a jack to lift their car up to change their tire, or somebody that needed help. It was pretty normal to see that. Nowadays, we just zip on by. We just keep driving and don't help anybody. And unfortunately, it's gotten that way because people are less, I don't know how to say this, they don't trust people anymore. People are less trusting. That's what I wanted to say. And it's not something that people do anymore. And the technology has improved, and of course, and now you can call for assistance. Back then it wasn't available. Now you can call for roadside assistance or whatever. But that's just one example. There's many examples that we can think of, where we can help somebody, when we can, lend that helping hand to somebody. And, the Bible says something about this, and I've always been interested in this verse. This is found in Proverbs 19. And I've heard it many times, and it's always like caught my attention, because it says, "If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you." And, that is something that I find very interesting, because that whole concept of lending to the Lord, lending to God. I mean, isn't God like the owner of everything? Doesn't he own everything? How can you lend something to him if he's the owner of everything, if everything belongs to him? But here it says, if you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord. And so, and then it says, and he will repay you, of course, which, that is amazing, because, people, we are very untrustworthy, or we don't trust people. And when we lend money to somebody, we have that mistrust. Are they going to pay me back? Maybe they're not going to pay me back. And years ago, I decided I'm not going to lend people money when people ask me for me to borrow money. If I have the money that they need and I can spare it, I will give it to them. And I've done it a couple times, but I'm better off not lending money, because that sometimes opens up for misunderstandings and broken relationships or whatever. So if I don't have the money, I'll just say, "I'm sorry, I can't, I don't have it." If I do have it and it's available and I don't need to use it, then yeah, I'll give it to you. You can have it. But here, we're lending to the Lord. And what he's really saying, I think, is that, we are his extension, And so when somebody is in need of help, we're not just talking about money, but when somebody is in need of our help, We are God's extensions. We are um, we are His representatives. We are doing the work for Him and in His place, or representing Him. And so, you know, because of our time, our effort, and sometimes our money that we are providing to the person in need, you know, God will always repay us. And He is not, you know, wishy-washy. He's not flaky. He is going to repay us because that's what He's promised. And He always keeps His promises. So, you know, next time you see somebody in need, or somebody is requiring help, think about this. You know, when you are helping the poor, and the poor here doesn't necessarily mean somebody who doesn't have any money, or is in financial crisis. Poor could also be somebody who is, you know, Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor of spirit." Uh, the poor of spirit. He's talking about, you know, some people are emotionally drained. Some people need help emotionally, mentally. Some people are also need help in other areas, in other sense, you know. So it's not necessarily just poor because of money. The money is missing. Poor could be different things. So when we help somebody that is in need, you know, we are lending to the Lord, and He will repay us. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing day. Have a good rest of your week, and we will talk to you soon.